transforming virtual assistant to virtual partners, right? This is an introduction to the concept of virtual partners and how to enhance existing, virtual assistant relationship. Define virtual partnership. So one day I really get a download, and I was talking to Monique, right? Monique has been with me for 10 years. She's right there. She's my tech person. She's also my therapist, right? Every time I'm pissed at my husband, she will tell me to sit down and light up the candle and tell her all about it. And then she'll tell me that, hey, I will be here to support you the whole way through, right? It's really important for you to have virtual partners. Right now, to be honest, I think I have about 5 to 7 virtual partners at this moment that is running individual departments for me. Why do you call them virtual partners instead of virtual assistant? I have to tell you, most of you guys come to me through referrals. So you might not have worked with a virtual assistant before. But in the real world, the real virtual assistant, a lot of them are in the box. Okay, like kind of like Tony said, they're in the box. If you tell them to do something, they will do it. But then some people actually explain it as like a robot. Like you push them, they move a little bit. You push them, they do a little bit. They push them, you do a little bit. They don't really go above and beyond most of the time. They're just here for a paycheck. And the craziest part about it is that it's really not their fault. A lot of virtual assistant was actually pretty mistreated. And the way that they got raised, the workplace is, that's why they react the way it is. Virtual assistant really need a lot of mindset coaching and how to work with people before they even started. That's why we designed the 30 days, so the way they can ultimately think on your behalf. A traditional virtual assistant, they usually work at a BPO industry. So like AT&T, Verizon, insurance company, bank, all of them have big buildings in Philippines, and they hire a lot of virtual assistants that work for them. And all of them only have one task. They go in, if their job is to receive outbound call, receive inbound call, all they do is receive inbound call. And they are trained not to ask question. Okay, let me repeat that. They are trained not to ask question. If they ask question, they are at fault. Okay, if they ask question, they are at fault. And thus, when you bring them in at the very beginning, you really need to honor them every time they ask you a question. And on the back end, we are pushing them to ask you as many questions as possible, because we tell them if they don't ask any questions, then they most likely will get fired. Because if they don't, I created this term called shyness does not make you money. Okay, shyness does not make you money. It's a really good word that I really like. Because if you're shy, you're not going to ask question. If you're not going to ask question, you're going to make mistake. If you're going to make mistake, you're going to get fired. So again, establish clear communication channels, right? What are some of the software that you want them to use? Again, always make sure that it's recorded. Like that's why I really like WhatsApp, right? Because everything's black and white. You can search it, and then you can do voice note. So if something goes wrong, you can always trace back and see what is going on with it, right? And also create a 1, 2, 3, right? When it's not urgent, maybe do this. When it's urgent, do this. And it's super urgent, call my whole family. The second thing, foster a culture of transparency and accountability. I always make sure that I'm transparent with them. Hey, I am a little stressed out today. So if I'm not smiling, it's not because I don't like you, it's because I'm this. Hey, whenever I'm working, I don't like to smile because I'm in deep thought. So if I don't smile, you know that it's not about you, it's just about me, right? I always clarify and verify with them. And I always tell them, if you have any question, reach out to me because I wanted to talk to you about it. Use technology to facilitate collaboration. I am very forgetful. Okay, so being transparent, I'm a very forgetful business owner. So I need everything to be black and white in a system. We also love technology, by the way. I am a nerd. Me and Monique, we have a common denominator is we're both nerds. So we love to test our software. So we move from software to software quite a bit. We move from like Monday, I think HubSpot to Monday to ClickUp to Asana, right? So we move things a lot. But what it is that you need to figure out what is a platform for you? What is a CRM that you wanted to use? What is a project management software that you wanted to use? How do you track all your customers and all your notes? One thing that I always think about, right, is McDonald's. The way I run my business is very McDonald's friendly. I don't know whether it's McDonald's friendly, but we don't eat a lot of McDonald's. But the reason why McDonald's hire low-end or cheap employees is not because they are cheap, but even though that's a good idea, right? It's because that they are so streamlined with their processes that, even when you are flipping a burger, it's 7 seconds, you will hear a ding. 7 seconds, you hear a ding. You take it out, you put it on the bun. So it's so simple that anybody can do it, and thus it's a system-based business not a people-based business. And thus I love virtual assistant, because I am no longer a business owner who hire one person to do everything, right? To do technical support, customer service, sales, website and all that. Stressful, because you most likely, the person in United States will cost you at least, I don't know, 30 to $50 an hour, right? At least 50 to 100 grand a year. Schedule regular check-ins and meetings. Virtual assistant, a lot of them are lonely. A lot of them, that's because they work from home too, so they don't have a lot of friends, right? But at the same time, because they are still kind of shy, so you wanted to schedule regular check-ins. Again, this is for VAs, but for local employees too, because when you have regular check-ins, you have time to tell them what to improve and what not to improve. Because whenever things happen, emotion is high. That means that intelligence is low. So you will get on people and press hot buttons and not be able to, fix stuff. Invest in relationship building activities. I would say so for us, we do provide them UPW, so they can go, get to know other virtual assistant. Take your time to maybe, just get to know them, right? I know Monique has, a son. His name is Kiefer, right? She always loved to be pretty, right? I know that she likes certain food, don't like certain food, I know her pretty well, but I think she knows me more than I know her. If you want to know whether they are going to be a virtual partner or not, it's pretty simple. Do they go above and beyond when you do not ask them to do, right? Do they learn without you forcing them to learn, right? Are they here for a paycheck? They're just clocking in and clocking out, and hopefully you don't see them at all. When they fail, what do they do, right? When they fail, do they hide? Do they say that it is my fault? Right? It's my fault, right? That they fail, right? How do they carry themselves? So you wanted to also look into that, right? And again, you want to do all these things to make sure that you enhance the relationship. And if it doesn't work, then you have to figure out, do we need to replace them? Does it not work? Do we need to realign? The most important secret to success, right? Number one is know what you want. Sometimes I have amazing virtual assistant, but they are not what you want. It will not work. So know what you want, be very clean and clear to know exactly, what is your vision, who are the people that you would like to surround yourself with, right? Know what you want. Second, embrace failing forward. They are going to make mistakes. Ask me how I know. Once upon a time, I was a real estate agent. We have to write a $200,000 contract. Monique only write it for $20,000. Or maybe it's a $20,000, I'm sorry, it's a $20,000 contract. She write it for $200,000. I almost have a heart attack because I do not have $200,000 to cover that property, right? But fail forward. What else can we do to make this work? Figure it out. Create a system. What's a system, right? 80-20 rule. 80% of everything that you do should be black and white. It's a yeah or a nay. It's a yeah or a nay. 20% of them could be gray. Well, I don't know. Today, maybe it's a yes. Tomorrow, maybe it's a no, right? So you need to figure that part out, okay? Then create a system. After you have a system, then ultimately what you do is rinse and repeat. Okay, rinse and repeat, right? That's how I build my business, right? I hire Monique first. We fail forward all the time, created a system. Now she's good on her own. Then I hire another VA. Then I hire another VA. And then I hire another VA. And then ultimately, that's how I created a sustainable business without me involved too much in it. But, most of the, checkpoint and the data point are always reached, because we have a system. And then when something happened, we also have a system to how to fix this problem that is run by, all my virtual partners.